man, I'm still, as the day went on yesterday, the more the day went on, the more I went, I really can't believe Kansas City won that football game. I really can't. The more it went on. You look at it, the position groups that we talked about, Eagles had more advantages. You talk about the team that had to play kind of outside their comfort zone and had to change the way they play to win the game. It was totally the Chiefs. They played Steve Spagnuolo and some of the run game just sell out to stop the run. That's why I can't wait to see that, because, I mean, they have some first and second down plays where you just go, oh, my gosh, it's like, what would have happened if they passed the ball here? Because everybody's at the line of scrimmage running up at the run game. You talk about the Chiefs offensively. I think they knew they couldn't drop back and throw the ball every play because the Eagles are good on defense, because Mahomes' ankle's banged up. So they ran the ball and were balanced. That was outside their comfort zone. I mean, there's just so many things there, right, Mike? At least in my opinion. I'm not saying I'm always right, but I certainly felt, even watching back, the Chiefs had to play a game of, whoa, we got to play our best A-plus game, and we don't even play this way. And the Eagles had a little bit of like, wait, we're just going to do what we've done all year long and just steamroll you. And the Chiefs somehow, some way pulled it out. It was amazing. It really was.
Well, but that's the key. The Chiefs did enough from a game plan standpoint.
Yes, they did.
To enhance the skills and abilities of the players. They did enough to match what they were facing. You talk about all the time, it's a matchup-driven league. They took advantage of what they thought they could do offensively, even if it was contrary to what they liked to do.
Right.
They took what the Eagles were going to give them. The Eagles kept trying to take what the Chiefs wouldn't give them, and sometimes that's all the difference in the world. And in hindsight, it looks so simple, but I think it's so hard for a team that's been wildly successful sticking to its script to change it up. It reminds me of Super Bowl 25. It's a point that comes up from time to time.
Yeah.
Peter will make it on Fridays. It's one of the Belichick books. I think it's the one that was written by, damn it, I have it downstairs. I can't even remember the name of it now, but it's about Bill Belichick. So I'll just leave it at that.
Right.
And that's where I first learned the story of Super Bowl 25 when he went in to meet with LT and all the other
Carl Banks,
crazy
Leonard
psychos
Marshall,
in a good way
Yeah.
on that defense. And he said to them, if Thurman Thomas rushes for 100 yards, we'll win the game. And they lost their minds.
Right.
We're not going to let – we're the New York Giants. We're not letting Thurman Thomas run for 100 yards. And the whole idea was you take some of the steam out of the keg on offense, you shorten the game, you force them to extend drives. We're going to, and when Peter mentions that game, it's usually from the Ron Earhart offensive coordinator perspective.
Sure.
When Parcells told him, grind it out and slow it down.
And run it, right.
So you force the Bills to run, you embrace the run, and that's the game plan you concoct and you get your players to buy into. So from Nick Sirianni's standpoint, even if he was inclined, first of all, you have to be inclined to say, because that's your big decision.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been pretty good doing all this stuff we do.
Yeah.
Why are we not going to do it now? It's worked all year. Why would we stop?
It's hard. It really is.
And then if you are, if you are going to stop, then you got to sell it to the locker room.
Right.
But look at what happened. Who was different, and who wasn't, and who won, and who didn't.
Yeah, it's an amazing psychology chess breakdown, right? Because we've seen teams who also said, wait, we're just going to do what we do, and they do win the Super Bowl, right? But they also played a different animal. They played an all-time great team. It's an all-time great team. There's moments you go through the year of the Chiefs. It's what they're going through right now. I don't mean necessarily specifically to 2022, but what they've done here in totality the last few years. And you're right, Mike. That's what sometimes stinks when you're the better team in the Super Bowl, because you go into it like, wait, we don't have to change much. I don't want to overcomplicate things. I want my guys to not think and play fast. And, hey, we're good at what we do, and we execute that really well, so I don't want to mess with that a whole lot, right? And we see teams win that. But, at times, you can be a little bit of a disadvantage when you are that team because, yeah, you don't want to break that mold to what you're talking about. And then there's the Chiefs watching it and going, wait, whoa. They're preparing for the game going, we can't play the way we actually really want to play, not against this team. We're going to have to do some things and change some things. And, that's where I just give them a lot of credit. That's why they just showed, championship merit, championship guts, heart, whatever, all through the playoffs into the Super Bowl. And then you play a game where, we talked about last week, anybody I talked to breaking down the game on Radio Row, right, those other radio stations, my number one fear. Well, what's your number one fear for the Chiefs? Well, I'm worried they're going to get steamrolled. That's what I'm worried. I'm worried that the Eagles are going to control the clock and just run the ball and just do whatever they want that way. Well, for a quarter and a half, they kind of did, and it was scary. But, the Chiefs then continued to sell out more and more for the run, and then had to, really risk and be a risky defensive game plan, Mike, and sell out to stop the run to the point where you go, well, almost to what you just said. If Thurman Thomas runs for 100 yards, the Giants will win the game. They almost had, hey, if Jalen Hurts throws for 300 yards, we got a chance to win the game. It was dicey. It was dangerous, but it was the chance they had to take to win the football game, and it worked out. And that's what's amazing. It really is. It's the team that had to change the most and really wasn't the more talented team won the football game for a bunch of other reasons, and that's really impressive.
Not that that's a foolproof plan. Super Bowl history is littered with examples of teams just great teams keep doing what they've done.
That's what I was
and
saying.
No one can stop
and just
them.
Steamroll them, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. We saw the Seahawks in 2013, right? They didn't change what they did. Right, the 2015 Broncos, they didn't change what they did. Peyton got into real conservative run game, quick passes. They played defense. They said, we're not changing. We're going to win the Super Bowl, right? So you're exactly right. We've seen that, and that's why I don't fault Nick Sirianni. Nothing had told him to this point this year that you need to really change drastically what you do because you've been kicking the crap out of everybody. So I don't fault Nick Sirianni for what they did, and how can you? I mean, they lost to, again, an all-time great team by a matter of inches here in this game.
And it gets back to the point you made last Monday. The Eagles didn't deal with much adversity this year.
Yeah.
And there's two kinds of adversity. There's the in-game adversity where you're down 10 and you got to figure out what you're going to do about it. Or you were up 10 and all of a sudden you're losing. You're like, well, this doesn't happen to us. We go up 10. Next thing you know, we're up 20. Instead of we were winning and now the roof is caving
right,
in.
and they've never dealt with that, really.
Of adversity,
right.
Yeah. The other type of adversity that the Eagles haven't dealt with is okay, it's time to come up with the game plan. Oh, shit, what are we going to do? They haven't had to do that.
Yeah.
They just do what they do.
Yeah.
It works. And, it doesn't work all the time. It's not foolproof, especially after Jalen Hurts got injured. But before Jalen Hurts injured his shoulder, it was that one Monday night game against the Commanders. It was kind of a fluke. You
it
just
was the only game.
You're not going to win every single game.
Right.
Oh, well, stuff happens.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
Off night.
We're going to watch the film. We're going to fix the things we did wrong. We're still going to keep doing the things that we do. That's the key. The Eagles just thought they could do what they did. And I
thought
worked.
they might be able to
if
do
they
too.
had just gotten to Mahomes a few times, it would have worked. That was the key. That's what we said all week.
Right.
Can they get to Mahomes?
Yeah. And, Mike, I mean, to your point, we talked about it yesterday. They were, again, like millimeters, inches, fumble away. A bunch where you go, oh, my gosh, they're about to put their foot on the throat of the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're in deep trouble. That's why, again, I certainly won't fault the coaching or anything like that. They played a team that was capable of thinking outside the box. They got burned by a game plan in their last Super Bowl by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that caught them off guard. So they were ready for all those things, let alone they got an all-time great quarterback and coach to lead a team to believe, hey, it doesn't matter who's on the field and what moment and down whatever, we don't care. That's the other thing that's amazing about them. This passing team, sexy, whatever. When it's time to get physical and tough, we got to stop Derrick Henry in the AFC Championship game. No problem. We got to stop the Shanahan awesome run game that ran over the Packers in the NFC Championship game. We'll stop it. Eagles, great. Peter King writing maybe the greatest offensive line we've seen in this century. We're going to stop it and outrush them. That is just they're special that way. Their psychology, their mental toughness, whatever. It really is amazing. The Chiefs, they really are amazing.
And they were ready to bust it open, I think, in the second quarter. The false start on the 3rd and short that I think was going to hit, or 4th and short.
It was 3rd and short. It was 3rd and 1. You were right.
Okay. Yeah. So the false start there, because that was going to be another
quarterback
sneak, shove the pile 5 yards.
Right.
Yeah, everybody shoves 5 yards. It's like the reverse tug of war. And then the Jalen Hurts fumble when he was trying to switch arms. He was trying to keep it from getting stripped by Nick Bolton, who you get a chance to watch the game from the perspective of your TV screen. You pick up more than sitting in a press box. The ball falls and Hurts kicks it, which pops it right out and puts it in position for Bolton to scoop it up and go. Like if he doesn't kick that ball,
it's probably going to be bodies scrumming on it there.
To recover it,
right?
Or it's not going to be a touchdown. They're going to have to earn the rest of the yardage. But that was the moment where it goes from 14-7 possibly on the way to 21-7 to 14-all, and even then, it felt like that wasn't going to be enough. To withstand.
You're right.
The storm,
right?
Because it was 10-0 after that. And the Mahomes ankle injury just before halftime. Really, the vibe at halftime was, this isn't going to go well. I mean, basically, if the Chiefs don't do something with the opening drive of the second half, this thing is not going to end well for the Chiefs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I mean, I was sitting there, and of course, as I've told you many times, my son, who's the big Chiefs fan and Mahomes fan, this is the season right here. If they don't go down, and really, it was like almost if they don't go down and score a touchdown, this is trouble. Okay, field goal will work, but man, they need to do something. And they answered the bell again. I've never seen a team ever in my life when they're down by 10, they're never out of it. They're actually more comfortable. And just you take that drive, you take the drive against Jacksonville in AFC Championship, 98 yards when Mahomes is out, all of that. They just have moments through the year where they're special, and that was one of those moments where you went, this is going to be a special big drive and a special team and a special group of players right here, or they're going to have to come together to overtake this monster team from Philadelphia. And they did. The stars aligned right at the right time, and they played their best football with their backs against the wall in the second half and played awesome to upset a team that was certainly better than them. And I think a lot of teams, as we saw with the experts on Fox, who I have great respect for, as one of the things I got throughout the week too. I think a lot of people thought the Eagles were really 5-6 point favorites and that the spread was just closer because of Mahomes, right? But I think as a totality, teams thought, hey, Eagles are really a touchdown better. I'm surprised it's really that close, as far as the spread. But we saw why, because the Chiefs are special in those kind of moments.
And because of Mahomes. It's exactly what we said last week, all week long. And
it's crazy. It's crazy.
I felt like we were stepping into a trap.
Right?
It's like, what are we missing here?
It did.
And I had those thoughts throughout the first half, and my son was convinced. My son was saying it's going to be Eagles 31-17. They're going to steamroll them. They're not going to be able to stop them. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish it's a close game, but I feel like it's going to be the Eagles by 14. So that wasn't an unreasonable take, and I really was thinking, are we right here that the Chiefs are good enough to keep this close so Mahomes can do his thing, and obviously did. The two key drives for me, the 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive to start the second half, and then that long-ass Eagles drive that ended in 3.
A field goal.
That was the moment
huge
where you're like, it's 27-21.
And they were dominating, and they're only up 6. Right. I'm with you, Mike.
You have given the Chiefs an engraved invitation to come take the game from you.
Yes.
When you do that.
Right.
When you give them a chance, it kind of reminds me, frankly, and I hate to say this, of when the Vikings in the 1998 NFC Championship were up 20-7 just before the half, and they tried to get more, and Chuck Smith knocked the ball out of Randall Cunningham's hands, and like the next play, it was 20-14 going into halftime. It's like Dan Reeves said, We're only down 6 points.
Right.
We're only down 6.
Right.
They kicked the crap out of us for a
Yeah.
half, and we're only down 6 points. Let's go take it from them. And I think that's the let's go take it from them moment. When you give us the ball back and we're only down 6 and we just went 10 plays, 75 yards, we're taking it from you.
Yeah.
That was the key. And obviously, Mahomes' ankle. And Mahomes refused all treatment. I haven't read the Albert Breer breakdown of the game. The one that I focused on yesterday was Peter King's from Football Morning in America. But apparently Mahomes said he spent that extended halftime not taking treatment, but getting his teammates in the right mindset to go out there and do what they did.
Yeah, that's just again the special leadership quality the guy has. It's like what you said yesterday. There's a Michael Jordan factor about the guy where, the rest of the team just believes in him to such an extent, and when he talks, they listen, and of course then he can go out and set the example. But I'm with you, Mike. I think there was the fumble, the settle for the field goal before the half. They got the ball at midfield basically with a little over than a minute left and have to settle for a field goal. The touchdown drive, you're exactly right, to start the third quarter, right? And then, yes, to hold them to a field goal on that 17-play drive. That was the moment where you went from, wait, they're hanging in there. I don't really think they can beat this team, but they're hanging in there, to, oh, my gosh, they're only down 6 and they're going to get the ball, and this is Mahomes. Holy crap, can they win the game? Oh, wait, now they're up by 1, and they forced a 3-and-out. Oh, my gosh, and Kadarius Toney is running down the right side, and holy cow, they can win the game. It really went almost just like that as far as my emotions, and it just was crazy. It was a free-for-all there for a little while. It was awesome to watch.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.